snacks.
And you know what? We live.
Of course we are. What it do, snackers and snackettes? It's your boy Gage. I'm here with Sin and Joe. Say hi, gentlemen.
What up?
What's happening, everybody?
Yeah. You are officially watching Cutscenes Live, where we get together once a week and we talk about things that are happening in video games. And cutscenes are
The best part of the game.
Best part of the game.
it's a fact. It's also a fact. And today
Today.
is the day. Today is the day. Today is the day. We're joining the
You're waiting
Justice
for this
League.
day.
We're no longer Young Justice. We're no longer sidekicks.
Moving up.
Today is the
Hey.
day. Microsoft has had their hand forced,
Woo. Woo. Woo.
Yeah,
and they have given us the actual release. They have shown us the Xbox Series S with a price and a date. That happened yesterday, and today they decided to give us the price
Say forget it. Take it
and the date for the Series X. Now, before I get into why didn't they just do this all at once? Because why didn't they just do this all at once?
Well.
Let me just give, I want to give some some basics on the news, and then I just want to dig into some of you guys' reactions. So, base level, Xbox Series S, $299. Xbox Series X, $499. So 300 and 500 for the respective consoles.
Mm-hmm.
Both coming out on November 10th. Gentlemen, how do we feel? I'm gonna start with you, Sin.
I feel good. We were kind of teetering between that. Is it going to be 600 because where they're talking? Is it going to be 5? I think a 4 might have been thrown out there at some point, all these months with speculation and everything. But I'm good with the 500 price mark for the Series X. And I'm good with the 300 for the Series S too. Neither of the price points bother me at all. I feel like there's something for everybody there and something for everybody to cop.
I dig that. Tony, I see you in the chat. Listen. Here's the thing. There weren't that many reporters leaking it. It really was mostly one guy. I mean, technically there was something on Windows Central late the day before yesterday. And then Brad Sams, who is relatively well known in the space for getting Xbox information and doing a lot of Xbox stuff. He leaked it and did a YouTube video on it, which I saw. Perp Minded, what's up? I happened to see the night before, and when I mean, I guess we can talk about how we feel about the design. When I saw the image of the Series S that he had, I just turned the video off. I was like, oh, that joint is fake.
I said the same thing when I saw the image. I ain't gonna lie, I said the same thing when I saw the image of it. I was like, this just look one of those flutes, something that somebody done put together just to get it out there. I was like, is this a sub on top of this bad boy? Like, what's going on here?
I don't know if it was because everybody had been using the mock-ups of like the shorter version of the series. It looked like a little GameCube or something. I think what it did it for me is that I looked at it and I was like, it's not even a console. That's the Xbox adaptive controller sideways.
Straight up.
It's just a white jump with a big black button on it. Like,
Yeah,
I was like, that joint fake, bro. You know what I mean? So I was just like,
it was definitely a
I don't know what he's
resemblance.
talking about. I'm past it. And then at like midnight, because everybody started to pick it up and was running with it, Microsoft was like, I guess we better just
Oh,
let it be
Put it out.
they hit the meme first. That was hilarious. Like I get their marketing team some props for running around with this one. I was like, yeah, let's play on this and let's get it out there for everybody.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was more of a reaction of we better do something and respond to
Yeah.
something because we know the cat is out of the bag
Yeah,
and we don't want to look like we let the cat out of the bag. You know what I mean? And I'm pretty positive that it went up the chain real fast to Phil Spencer.
Oh,
like, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do?
Somebody got woke up in the middle of the night. So someone got woke up in the middle of the night. With,
he just rolled over. He just rolled over and made the call. Ready to push the button. Just
Yeah, but
put
you
it
know
out.
what? Because honestly, they probably were going to reveal it next week at Tokyo Game Show in some form anyway. Like, they said they weren't doing next-gen news at the conference at Tokyo Game Show, which makes sense because, it's Japan. You know what I mean? Like, they don't generally do much there. They already said that the whole joint was going to be streamed in Japanese. Like, they weren't really going to give us anything significant. But that doesn't mean they weren't going to try to use. I would imagine that they anticipated that Sony was going to try to do something big at TGS because that's home for them. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so I imagine that they had these assets prepared as just a way to kind of combat that. And they probably weren't prepared specifically to give price point for sure until they saw what Sony had to say. And I feel like Sony was probably planning to do something at TGS. Yeah, no, listen, Perk, you're right. I mean, the fan is necessary.
Yeah, actually, let me put the picture up so everybody can, just in case some folks didn't.
Yeah,
actually,
please do. And you're right. If they had done it all white, that joint would get dirty brown in there. The black, you know what I mean? The black is still. I'm not gonna. I'm not. It ain't gonna matter. You ain't gonna really see it.
Right. I was like, all I care about is how it plays. Like, just.
Yeah. Hey, Mari. Price for the consoles. So, I mean, look. Switch is what, $299 or was at launch.
Yeah.
I mean, $100 difference, but for not even arguably much more powerful consoles.
Definitely.
But on top of this, and we'll get to it. The rumors of a new Switch, a new more powerful Switch, are beginning to circulate much more heavily.
Yep.
Possibly meaning that they were even thinking about doing something at TGS, which again, Tokyo Game Show. It's a home. It's Japan's.
Yeah.
There's a possibility that they were planning something for that. Truthfully, a Switch is all most people need. I think most gamers, you can play so much of what they have, and Nintendo's games are. Again, Nintendo's still the best game publisher there is, like pound for pound. They make the best games, and you can take it with you.
True.
And you know what? Them keeping the second HDMI port, I'm with that too. I've utilized. I pass through the TV and other things through that second HDMI port consistently, but I am positive that. The data must show that there just aren't enough people who are using it.
Supporting it.
Yeah, I mean, my PlayStation just plugged into mine right now.
Yeah, and you want to keep costs down as much as you can. So they have to. Here's what I want to do. I kind of want to run through the specs for the two consoles. And I feel like this is important because obviously, with pricing and dates announced, the ball is now in Sony's court to
Y'all
say
gonna
how
do.
much their system is.
Yeah.
And if I have to guess, they have already been seriously undercut,
Yep.
more than likely. Because the Series S, based on what the specs are, technically is faster than the PS5. But what is likely to be about half the price. So, that's another important thing, Mari, is mostly playing on PC. And we're kind of going to get into that too, because the other thing about this announcement and the way that Microsoft is playing this game is that they almost don't care if you buy their console. They really want you in their ecosystem. And Game Pass is the best deal on console or PC. And considering what they did with that today,
Yep.
it's even way better now.
Save some more money. Saving us some
Let's
money.
start with the power.
What? Church.
So here's the deal. The CPUs in both the Series X and the S are the same. So we have an 8-core AMD Zen 2 CPU at 3.8 gigahertz, 3.6 gigahertz with SMT enabled.
Mm-hmm.
Both exactly the same.
Yeah.
Okay. The GPU, it is the same GPU. Okay, so AMD RDNA 2 GPU. The Series X has 52 compute units, clocked at 1.825 gigahertz, and the S has 20 compute units, based at 1.565 gigahertz. That right there is the important piece. It does make technically the Series S slightly faster. I mean, it's slight, but slightly faster than the PlayStation 5 is. Now we're at 12.15 teraflops for the X and 4 for the S. Almost everything else is the same.
Mm-hmm.
The RAM is going to make a difference. 16 gigs GDDR6 RAM versus 10 gigs GDDR6 RAM. Target performance. And this is probably the thing that will matter the most. So 4K at 60 frames per second, up to 120 frames per second for the Series X. 1440p at 60 frames, up to 120 frames per second for the Series S. The other big differentiator between the two is a terabyte SSD. They're both NVMe drives versus 512 PCI Gen 4 NVMe. We're going to dig into that a little bit in a second. They both have the 1 terabyte expansion slot. That's probably the thing that I am most concerned about, is
Same
what that
here.
expandable, that proprietary expandable memory is going to run. Yeah, I'll send that to you, Tony. I'll send you that comparison, Tony. And the other thing is, obviously, there's no drive. There's no disk drive on the Series S. So digital only 4K UHD Blu-ray is on the X. So let's dig for a second. 4K versus 1440p. Jokes. How do you feel about this?
It doesn't bother me as much per se, because like I know I'm gonna get the X, but for someone that's not necessarily looking to spend that money on the X and just want to go into like that $299 realm, I still think that 1440 is not bad on their unit at all. Especially maybe for someone that's, hey, if by chance you still have the OG Xbox One, maybe you haven't even decided to make an upgrade to any of the other consoles. Definitely making that move is going to be a significant jump from you going from the original One S, a little bit of a jump, but I would say if you're that true hardcore gamer, the person that's really looking to get in it, you're gonna get the X, and that console necessarily isn't the one that's made for you. I see it for me. That would be the second box I'm putting on another TV in the house. I mean, granted, I was gonna shift the One X to that TV, but I know I'm gonna expand out at least one more 4K TV in the house. If a second one maybe makes it in here, then in that case, then all my TVs are covered as far as 4K content. So I definitely think for the price point, what the 1440 is, I think it's fine.
And y'all let me know in the chat how you guys feel about the difference between 1440p and 4K. I'm especially actually interested in hearing what you have to say about it, Mari, as mostly a PC gamer, and whether or not you game on the PC, and in 1440 versus 4K, do frames per second matter to you based on the games that you're playing? I am a tech dude. I want the latest and the greatest and the highest fidelity I can possibly get across the board. But I know that I'm an anomaly. When they announced the Xbox One X, I knew immediately that was targeted at my forehead, because I'm the guy that already has an Xbox One and it is looking to get the newest, most powerful, best thing that they have. And when they announced that they were doing a One X, Phil Spencer said then, we know that the One S is going to be the one that continues to sell like hotcakes. We expect that the One X is going to be the thing that's picked up for the premium person at the premium price that does all the extra, right? And that is for me. Yes, you're right, Perp. That's what I'm saying. They're saying that the GPU in the Series S is faster than the PS5. So here's the thing. For a lot of people, they're still running on 1080p TVs.
Right.
1440p is probably higher than the majority of consumers' televisions run anyway. Now, I recognize that people are getting 4Ks. If you go shopping for a TV now, 4K is what you're going to get. And while the number of 1080p TVs in the wild is vastly higher than the number of people who have moved on to a 4K TV.
I would say you could probably find most of those in kids' rooms where the S will probably be going for Christmas. You know what I mean? Like in their kids' room, yeah. So they couldn't take advantage of it anyway.
They probably have smaller TVs that can't do 4K.
4K
I mean,
anyway.
You can't do 4K on a 32-inch TV. That's not a thing. You know what I'm saying? So the other thing about that is, while there are a ton of gamers who are the ones like us, who are very serious about it, have shows and things that they talk about it on YouTube and Facebook and whatever, and are all into it and look at IGN every day and GameSpot and Digital Foundry, who care about all the tech specs and all that. The people who buy Madden every year and just Call of Duty, that's all they buy.
They don't care.
They don't care the way, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. They just want the new joint. They want it to look good. Some of them are the people who want that power, what have you.
Alfonso.
What's going on, Alfonso? But here's the thing that's interesting. We kind of had this discussion off camera yesterday, gentlemen. But at the speed and power that the S has, outputting at 1440p with an SSD drive versus an HDD drive, a mechanical hard drive versus an SSD drive, the ability to actually up-res 1440p to 4K can actually be done in a way that makes it almost impossible for you to tell the difference with your naked eye.
Dope.
Meaning that you could go into a 1440p, up-res to 4K, using the power that the console has in it, and based on the speed of the SSD, you might not know the difference. Really, I mean, obviously, there's going to be a difference,
Right.
right? But for most people, again, technically, it's probably outputting at a resolution that's higher than what you can do anyway. And for a lot of people, they choose to target frame rate over
Yeah.
the Ks. Case in point, we talked about Marvel's Avengers the other day and talked about how, even though it can run in 4K, if you switch that joint to performance
mode, clean.
It's so much
clean.
It plays so much better. That's what a lot of people are going to be looking for. They'd probably rather have the frame rate than not.
They'll cut it on. They'll cut it on the other way at first just to look at it. But after a minute or two of playing and getting some stutters, like, okay, let's switch it back. You know, let's switch it back to what I need and keep moving from there.
Yeah. So let's November 10th. Slightly later than we were expecting. We saw the 6th.
Yep.
November 10th. That's Veterans Day, I think. It's Veterans Day. It's right after Veterans Day. I think that's a Tuesday, right?
Tuesday, yeah, it's Tuesday.
Or Wednesday. It's a Wednesday.
No, it's Tuesday.
Is it Tuesday?
It's a Tuesday.
Yeah, that's right. Because that's the day after my birthday. My birthday's at Monday. So
that's gonna be a
pre-orders
great
go
birthday
live September 22nd.
Veterans Day's that Wednesday, the day after.
Okay. So holiday weekend, not a bad time to do it. I'll be ready for my pre-order. It's going down.
Same here.
I'm ready.
I am off already for pre-order day. So
I'm good. I work at the computer from home. I'm just waiting to say click here. That's it.
Facts. I want to run down just quickly because I think this is important. I know we are now the waiting game. The pressure's on Sony, right? When are y'all going to tell us what y'all are doing? You know what I mean? And when you're doing it, how much it is. Right now, I think Sony is out as far as price is concerned. There's a couple reasons for that. So I want to read what this is. So if you go to Xbox Wire and look at the article that they posted, which again, I asked you guys yesterday, why didn't they confirmed the Series S, but there's no post about it on their own website. Makes no sense. Well, of course, they posted today when they revealed the information for the X and the price point for that. So here's the deal. Xbox Series S and Xbox Series X launched November 10th, starting at $24.99 a month with Xbox Game Pass Ultimate and EA Play. That in and of itself. Not starting at $2.99. Starting at $24.99 a month. I see a hard push, especially considering what's going on right now. People not working. What's Christmas going to look like? What's Hanukkah going to look like? Where are we scraping the money together to get something for the kids and to do whatever? Where am I scraping the money to get something for myself? Starting at $24.99 a month. Let's just read this a little bit. So now more than ever, gaming plays an important role in our lives. It's one of the greatest forms of creative expression. Gaming sparks our imagination, connects us to new worlds, stories, and our friends. That is just kind of throwing it out there that that's what people are doing because they stuck at home, pandemic. Let's lean into it a little bit. On November 10th, a new generation of console gaming begins. That's when our vision becomes a reality with the most performant, immersive, and compatible next-generation console gaming experiences and the freedom to play your games with your friends anytime, anywhere. To empower you more than ever to jump into the next generation of gaming, today we have confirmed Xbox Series X, our most powerful console ever made, and Xbox Series S, next generation performance in our smallest console ever built at a more affordable price. Launch globally November 10th. Pre-order starts September 22nd. The expansion of Xbox All Access to 12 countries. This is important. Offering you a next generation Xbox and 24 months of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, starting at $24.99 a month with no upfront cost. EA Play comes to Xbox Game Pass at no additional cost. Let's just break this down right here. That's the first part of the statement that they made. So let's walk this out. You are a parent shopping for your children for a gaming console for the holiday.
Mm-hmm.
Or birthday. Or whatever.
Right.
Let's say best case scenario. The all digital PlayStation 5 is $400.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean,
Okay.
I gotta figure 400 and 500 or 500 and 550.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Right.
And I think now that the Xbox has said 500,
500, yep.
I'm figuring 450 and 500 probably. But they could go 400 and 500.
Hmm.
I feel like $100 is a lot to ask for a disc drive.
Mm-hmm.
But they could do that, not even expecting people to do the disc drive, or whatever. Like, they could just kind of force it if they wanted to. But let's just say best case scenario, 400. Series S, even if you just want to buy it outright, is $100 less than that. Possibly technically faster. But when you see it advertised as $24.99 a month, $25 a month for 24 months with Game Pass Ultimate. What's Game Pass Ultimate? Hundreds of games that you could just download and play, rotating in and out, plus EA access. So another 60 games that come directly from the EA catalog. So we're talking Madden, we're talking FIFA, we're talking UFC, right?
Big titles.
And if you want the brand new versions, play them 10 hours early, get discounts on those games if you buy them, right? Plus, you also now have those games available to you on PC,
Yep.
right? So again, for somebody like Mari, who is mostly a PC player but has a Switch, she didn't buy an Xbox, that's cool. She'll probably get Game Pass Ultimate though,
Mm-hmm.
right? So
all those games.
all first party games coming straight into Game Pass day one, right? So your Halos, your Forzas, you name it, $25 a month. No upfront cost. You're not even paying $25 to walk out the door.
Nah, you walking out
with a
with
Series S. You're walking out with the joint. System, games, done, right? Online connectivity, you're in there.
Right.
Pay us $25 in January and in February and so forth. And really, pricing wise, it works out to technically a better deal as a whole when you consider everything that you get with it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Sony, unless they come out and say something crazy about PlayStation Now,
Right.
or they have something new to offer, can combat that price-wise. If you're a PlayStation person, you already know you're buying a PlayStation 5. It doesn't
It
matter.
doesn't matter what.
But if you're a PlayStation 5 person, how much could it hurt for you to either jump on Game Pass for $15 a month
Yeah.
and get those games on your PC, even if you don't get an Xbox, or for another $10 a month,
a month. Get a whole
just go ahead and get you a
console.
Series S.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's not a bad deal at all.
I mean, I really think, and again, if you want to do the Series X, it's $35 a month as opposed to $25 a month.
Okay.
That's still not bad. Like,
Yeah, it's still not.
Arguably, Series X is the most powerful console and will be the best place to play third-party games, unless Sony does a deal with somebody that you're getting content earlier
Right.
or content
or
that nobody else
whatnot.
getting or something like that. But I mean, that's what it is right now for the One X. It's just the best place to play third party, period. You play PlayStation games for the exclusive, which will
Cool.
come
Hmm.
at some point. Adding EA access to Game Pass. I know I was the one who was like, I can see them having third parties jump on Game Pass and start doing day one.
Well,
Mhm.
This might be slightly better. I mean, look, for EA to do it, I think others will follow suit. Would you
Mhm.
agree?
I think
I
so
think so.
too.
In some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, they want
Yeah.
that money, and they see that Game Pass is working. Game Pass is working, and they want a piece
So,
of that.
so the
Listen.
question
And they want a piece.
is EA Access staying with its same model, or is it adapting the Game Pass model going in? So, like,
It's the same model. It's still
okay,
technically a separate
Thing, but it's just a part of Game
entity.
Pass. It's
okay,
just, but it's just a
it's
part of Game
included. It's
Pass.
just in the
Just
package.
announced,
Got it. Okay.
like 2 weeks ago, that they were making changes to EA Access where it wasn't just you get to play these games for free, or when you buy them when they're new, you get a discount and whatever, but they're adding in things that are very similar to what Game Pass is doing. Where you know how Game Pass now has like the special stuff that you get monthly,
Hmm.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you get drops and things like that, or Game Pass Ultimate end goal is giving out Nitro for 3 months, for giving out Spotify for 3 months,
Yep.
giving you stuff in Phantasy Star, World of Tanks,
Yeah.
All over
stuff
the
like
place.
that, right? They're just kind of giving you something for being a member, getting something extra. And EA has started to do the same thing. They are also adding in like specific things that you can do, certain goals and like achievement kind of
Okay.
things that you can only do if you're a member. Now, EA Access is $35 a year
Hmm.
or $5 a month, which is stupid to pay them $5 a month
Yeah.
when you can just pay them $35 for the whole
Be
year.
done. But
I
now,
already own EA Access.
same here as well too.
Same here.
So it remains to be seen what happens for people who already bought it
have
or
it.
whatever and how that affects it. But I know I ain't paying $35 again.
Hey, say
Oh,
that
no.
extra 35 for something else right now. Like I'm like, hey, let's.
You ain't lying at all.
I'm all about actually saving money here. Like it's just straight up. Hey guys, that $35 you're paying a year, don't worry about that no more.
Yeah, I mean, look. What do you guys imagine? What do you think Sony's gonna do? Where do you think price point comes for PlayStation 5?
I'm with you
And
on
when do you think they're gonna tell us?
I'm with you on the whole like it's gonna be higher than the Series X. Like they're gonna either do that $50 difference
Yeah.
For the
between
Series
them.
S?
Yeah, like the whole price thing was playing. I'm with you on that. I do think there has something in the tuck for Game Pass. I think it will be some type of revamp of PlayStation Now. I'm hoping that's something they've been working on behind the scenes all the time. We've been wanting questions on them, and we know they've been doing stuff back there. I hope that's what it is, and they have a great system in place to combat that. I think that's probably what they're holding in the tuck along with it. As far as when we get a date, I'm thinking TGS. Especially now that this is leaked. Like, if they would have hurried up and start snatching up those pre-orders, they gotta say something before the 22nd. If they don't want people to already put their money to the side, so I'm thinking TGS is where you do it. It's enough time for it to be out there. People can start putting their money to the side for whatever they got to do. Like, get it out there so people already know what to save, how much they got to put to the side. Or when that 22nd come around, people just might be like, you know what, that is a good deal. Let me go ahead and jump on that now. while I got the
Yeah.
money on.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah.
so
I see you, Alfonso. Alfonso, I'm getting both. I don't even care. I'm getting them both, which I think
same
is
I
here.
cool.
mean,
'Cause I think,
yeah. But there's
I
priorities
think
though.
now,
It's priorities. Xbox comes first.
I mean, I think the value proposition is different now. I mean, I think, 360 PS3, Xbox One PS4 was very much, we're giving you the exact same thing, slightly different power sets. You know what I mean? Like, but for the most part, this is what it is. And I think that dividing line where Microsoft is like, nah, the money is in subscriptions and subscription services and really getting people in the ecosystem and staying with us and just having people being able to play wherever they are. Please keep in mind that when you add in Game Pass, again, $24 a month, $25 a month for the system, for Game Pass, for online, for EA Access, plus xCloud.
Yes.
So
Mm-hmm.
over 100 games that you will, if you have an Android phone, sorry, jokes,
Hey, that may change.
you can access and play. So for that same $25 a month, you can play 100 games right on your phone from wherever you are. Even if you just doing PlayStation. Again, $15 a month for Game Pass gives you that too. Right? You have EA Access on the console, EA Access and Game Pass on PC. You have Game Pass on your cell phone and play from wherever you want.
For it.
That's
And just to
That is-
reiterate, Game Pass has a great library.
Awesome
It is.
library.
A great library.
You know what, Tony? I mean, you might be right. Look, PlayStation Now is it actually is a pretty solid value. I mean, it's the same price. It's like $10 a month, right? And you can download a portion of games now. You don't have to stream them, right? But if they don't put something in place that rivals xCloud for being able to play them on the go, then they're losing something there. If they are not giving people 3 months of PlayStation Now when you buy a PS5, or for real, when you buy a PS4, I still think there's a possibility that PlayStation comes out and like, oh yeah, here come the PS4 Pro Slim. That's the joint that rivals
The S.
Yes.
price-wise the Series S.
Yeah,
Price-wise.
but that'll only be it pretty much.
And if they do that and say, look, 4K gaming, all of this game library, this price point. You know what I'm saying? No, you're not getting next gen. I'm just saying though. You know what I mean?
Right.
Then it does become, yeah, but you could pay that same price and get next gen plus these 100 games plus whatever and not even really pay that same price, not up front.
Yeah.
There are propositions with what Microsoft is doing and the way that it's angled that are very much, you can do both if you want.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're putting your money aside, saving your $500 to $600 to get you a PlayStation 5, if you got $25 a month,
Why not just do it that way?
you can take this home too.
Mm-hmm.
True.
It's a really, really great way to get people who are on the fence, who are teetering, who aren't fanboys of one versus the other, to just be like, you know what, that's a solid deal. You know what I mean? Like, the reality of it for somebody like me, there's no way I'm not walking, me and that Series X, we gonna make babies. But I'm gonna love that thing. I'm gonna love it. Day one. But listen, the reality of it is, $25 a month, I might get a S2.
True.
Okay.
Not for me.
Of course not. Well, why not?
But well,
I
I'm
know,
just
really.
saying, like,
Well, why not?
well, I'm saying, because children. That's why. Because children.
Right.
And because as things do over the next year to a year and a half, begin to get to the point where there are games that are only series games as opposed to one game.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, somebody's gonna be in my face like, I won't play that.
Right.
I won't that. I'm trying to run. What's up? You know what I mean? And so it's a possibility that, you know, I end up with another one. I don't even know how many Xboxes I bought. They all over the house.
No lie there. I'm the
Um,
exact same way.
And come November, there'll be some more Xboxes around the house.
you know what, Perp? I hear you. Like, exclusives are overrated, in your opinion, because you're more of a multiplayer kind of guy. You know what? I dig that. And I think that that's part of why Sony has been leaning into doing great marketing deals with
Call of Duty.
the most
Yeah.
prominent multiplayer games like Destiny.
Destiny,
You know what I mean?
Call of
Like,
Duty.
we're gonna have everything first. You can play exclusive content that's only on our console, stuff like that,
Mhm.
right? You look at something like Marvel's Avengers, they're like, hey, we're the only ones who are gonna have Spider-Man. There's gonna be content that's exclusive to there, and there's gonna be, you know what I mean? Like, they're really trying to make those deals. Traditionally, the exclusives that Microsoft have had, even if they didn't score as well as Sony's exclusives, they have sold better than Sony's exclusives, if for no other reason than the fact that they are almost all multiplayer games. You look at Halo and look at Gears, they outsell Sony's single player experiences. That's just what it is, because it's like, oh, you got such and such, I need to get that too. Oh, 4 people can play it, hey, tell your man to get that joint. Oh, and so get it too. You know what I mean? And you start to really build a community and a camaraderie around playing those things and playing together and setting up times to get on and all that kind of stuff. And that is really the thing that Sony is missing in terms of their exclusive library, is the multiplayer experience. When they tried to do that, when they were trying to mimic what Microsoft was doing, trying to get their own Halo, it didn't really work out.
No.
As Xbox has tried to lean into what Sony does really well, the single player experience or whatever, it hasn't really worked out well for them. So maybe leaning more heavily into the multiplayer thing makes more sense. Maybe saying
Sticking with
we
their
want
both
to have
good
people
at.
in an ecosystem where they can play if they're on a Series X, a Series X, a One X, a One S, or a One. Y'all can still play together. If you're on your phone, y'all can still play together. Oh, it's multiplayer,
PC?
y'all can still play together. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Play Fortnite on all of it. You know what I mean? Like that.
Mhm.
There is a proposition there that even if you don't see it as the console hits immediately, as it begins to start to hit the zeitgeist, what are you doing? You got your Xbox controller out and your phone, and you out somewhere playing, and it's not a Switch. You know what I'm saying? I'm running Destiny, which, by the way, is getting ready to come. Destiny 2 is getting ready to come to Game Pass. You understand what I'm saying?
With the latest content.
Join up.
As
With the latest content.
it begins to lean into that kind of stuff, and people start to see it. Oh, for real? You can just play your Xbox joint on your phone?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
That joint works.
Dog, I actually had to
Yes.
a coworker of mine hadn't heard of xCloud at all. And I had to school him.
Gaming department?
I asked him, I was like, he plays on PlayStation normally, but I was like, you haven't even heard of xCloud at all. And I just gave him the small tidbit of what it was. He damn near lost it. I'm like, dude, and I'm like, if you have Game Pass, like, I'm like, you got it. Like, you don't have to worry about shelling out no extra money or whatnot. I was like, depending on what things look like in the next few months, like, I'll probably have an Android phone, but y'all gonna be seeing me when I'm not helping somebody. I'm gonna be playing something, shooting something while in between clients and all that type of stuff.
Yeah. I mean, Perp, I see you asking if you pay more if you finance the Xbox. The answer is actually no. Technically, you actually come out a little bit better. You only save like $20 or
Yeah,
something
it's
like
something
that.
small, but you do,
But
yeah.
For all of what you get, if you look at the cost of the system, the cost of what Game Pass Ultimate costs, EA Access costs, like when you add it all up, everything that you get, you actually come out better for $25 a month. which usually is not the way financing works.
Not
You
at
know what I'm saying? You
all.
go to Renaissance, bro.
Oh, you gonna pay for whatever you getting twice.
Yeah, yeah, it's not usually how that goes. Um, I mean, you're right. People will buy if. Here's the thing: there are people who are going to buy the PlayStation 5 regardless of the price that Sony puts it at. You're right. If they come out and say 600, and they're just like, nah, because this joint is all next gen. We have first party games that are being developed just for next gen. They start to kind of try to spread that.
Right.
You know, you see it now, like, oh, they have to actually make games to the lowest common denominator.
Hmm.
That's BS for real. Because that's how games on PC have worked forever. Forever. If you have a more powerful PC, you can run that game better. That's just how it works. That's just They got sliders and all that jazz. It's in there. That's how they've been developing games for decades. It's not new. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody's looking at Cyberpunk coming out and seeing what the possibilities of it are on PC and going, yeah, but that joint gonna be garbage on PC because for real, they trying to make that joint for PlayStation 4.
Right.
Nah, that's not how it works. That's not how it works. Because if that's how it worked, PC wouldn't be worth buying.
Very true.
You know what I'm saying? Fidelity was the same. Oh, you mean can you pay it off sooner?
I'm pretty sure they'll have something
I'm sure
worked in. Yeah.
I'm sure you can pay it off sooner. Currently the way that the Xbox All Access works is if you were to get an Xbox One S or a One X now, as you pay for it, they actually give you the option to upgrade to a Series S or X. So I would imagine that even if you picked up the Series S, if you get to a point you're like, I really want to go up to the Series X. Now I got a 4K TV or not, you know what I'm saying? Whatever it is, you probably can just upgrade to the other one for the, and just do the difference. But I have not seen anything that says that you can't pay it off early, or whatever if you wanted to do that. And I hear you, Tony, like God of War, dope. Uncharted, I'm not the biggest fan. I'm not saying it's not a solid game. I think God of War is the best PlayStation exclusive released this generation. But you're right, they don't have Horde mode. And I know you played Horde mode. So, look, I'm there's a little bit of other news that I do want to talk about a little bit. But I think, it remains to be seen how this pans out for Sony. Obviously, again, they could have something in the tuck. Just be like, oh yeah, but we got this other box too. It's PlayStation 4, but still.
Pretty sure we'll find out within sometime this month.
There's no doubt in my mind. Whatever the price is, I don't think they're gonna beat the deals you can get for either one of these. $35 a month or $25 a month for the console plus all of that, all of those games. I don't know if y'all saw it. Did y'all see that Assassin's Creed Valhalla changed their release date?
I posted. I put that right up. Yep. Not that long after they announced that date, Assassin's Creed made their post right behind it. It was like, oh yeah, by the way, we're gonna go ahead and move this all up a whole entire week for you guys.
And
guess you know what game I'm playing.
Yeah.
Hey, we got a release title now. We actually have a release title for the console.
Well, that's they had that plan though. You already know they had that plan. Yeah. They've had the marketing deal with them, So it's just a matter of them saying like, all right, well, this is going to be what we really push. You know what I mean? It's going to be Assassin's Creed and probably Watch Dogs, Legion, and they almost always do some kind of a deal with 2K, with NBA 2K. There'll probably be something there too. They almost always do a Madden box. I think it's going to remain to be. You got to remember that EA Access just came to PlayStation this year because Sony refused to allow them to do it when it came out. EA Access has been on the One from the very beginning.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, it's clearly they are able to see the value of this, right? I'm sure that Microsoft is putting some money in EA's pocket for being able to include it, but the numbers have to be telling the executives at EA. EA is probably one of the money grubbiest, hungriest publishers in existence that isn't Activision.
Oh yeah, and they saw that money.
So
like, Game Pass getting money. Oh, we need that.
Yeah.
They must, right? It's got to be like, all right, they're doing something right with what they have there, and that's something that, for real, Sony's gonna have to look at. They have to.
Yeah, they're not gonna beat. They're not gonna beat those package deals if they don't have some with PlayStation Now or something they got in the tux, whatever it is that comes with.
Yeah.
That's gonna be too hard to
Hey,
deal
speaking of EA, did y'all see the announcement today that they putting Colin Kaepernick in Madden?
Sure did.
I don't have a whole lot to say about it. I'll let y'all talk about it if you want to.
No, okay.
Hey, I'm okay with it. He's a free agent. They put him in the game. You can do what you want to do. Like, I mean, that's how it used to be back in the day. Like, you kind of just built your teams the way that you really wanted to do it. You'd be a good addition for Ultimate Team, but whatever. I mean, I think it's interesting that they did that though.
I'm waiting to see what kind of backlash there might be when his numbers hit. I want to see what his stats are.
Oh, they already did. He's rated like as 86 if I remember right. But like I already went and looked at the comments on Madden's post and they were absolutely disgusting. Like they just added the guy in as a free agent so you can add him, do whatever you want to do with him. But yeah, they gave him his stats. So he's I don't want to say average, but he's above average of a normal quarterback. But he's not like a Drew Brees or Peyton Manning rating, nothing like that.
I mean, they both garbage.
No, I know.
Yeah, look, to have the NFL now coming out just being like, we should have listened, and I mean, okay,
whatever.
And but then after what Madden did last year, where they like bleeped his name, out of the song or whatever, and that was a big deal and was all kinds of controversial, whatever. Like, yeah, I mean, y'all kind of need to do it, make good. You know what I mean? My thing is, I need Cap to be getting paid for his appearance. That's all. That's it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, get your paper slim. That's the thing that matters to me the most, as far as that's concerned. Call of Duty Warzone. Let me start with, does anybody care? Chat, feel free to speak up.
Not really.
Okay, but I mean, it's not necessarily. I haven't jumped into Warzone like that, so not really.
A few times I played, it's cool.
I don't get down, but it's cool. Like, I know it's a big deal to a lot of people. It's not a big deal to me. I'll probably have more to say about it next week. I'm gonna do a little more digging. Special edition consoles tend to not come out for 6 months to a year. We probably won't see. I can almost see them doing special edition series consoles for Cyberpunk when Cyberpunk actually does release their full version on like the actual next gen version, but that's not probably gonna happen until sometime next summer or after. Did y'all see that they're doing a full-on next-gen version of Witcher 3?
Yes, I did.
And that it is completely free if you already own
have
the
it?
game?
Yep.
I'm in. I actually haven't even finished The Witcher 3. Now I don't want to finish it.
I barely started it, so
I don't want to finish it.
Get a next-gen version.
I'm ready to go. I'm gonna wait.
But peep game. Witcher 3 is in Game Pass.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, you're not going to get the next-gen upgrade version if it's in Game Pass. It'll still be the regular one, but that's going to be up-res, too.
Mm-hmm.
So, depending on what they add, you get a discount on games that are in Game Pass if you buy them.
Yep.
Yeah.
So if you buy it at the discounted price now, you guarantee yourself. That's stupid, man. Game Pass, though.
Game Pass.
Means I actually own it on the PlayStation, so I can just, get a free version for the PlayStation 5.
Technically,
I
but
said I have it on there.
Battlefield until next holiday.
I don't care about Battlefield. I can't do Battlefield. I don't know what it is. The more recent ones, I haven't been able to stick with them.
I mean,
I actually prefer Battlefield.
I used to really like Battlefield, but then after when we got
a little less twitchy, and I respect that a little more. That's all. I'm old. Time to be twitching around with y'all. No Warzone. What's wrong with y'all? see me in that Goldeneye. Don't talk to me about the Warzone. See me in that Goldeneye. Get this blood on your screen.
Classic.
We have to do that for Extra Life.
Straight up.
Figure out how to hook up get an instant. Hey.
Somehow.
Hey.
64 right here, bro. I'm down.
Hey, I'm cool with getting adapted, so we have to hook that up.
You trying to get through the Witcher 3, bro. You playing Red Dead.
Or Grand Theft. I can't play it.
Red Theft 3.
Money.
So look, have y'all seen these rumors about this new Nintendo console?
Enough.
Yeah.
We only touched on it a little bit.
Yeah.
So this is what happened. It's been rumored already, you know what I mean? But most people have been like, Nintendo don't really care about them Ks. But what came out today, what got leaked today, basically said that
they want them Ks.
To get prepped.
Get them Ks. Start working on them K games.
We need them Ks.
Hey.
So, I'm going to say it again. Last time we talked about this, I said I'm expecting a new Nintendo console next March.
Mm-hmm.
And they were doing the whole things with the Direct saying these games only available till March. So, an announcement on the horizon with it probably coming out in March.
Here's what I'm imagining is that there will be special edition joints or something like that of the new joint that come packaged with the 35
Mario
35 or the 3D All Stars, or they'll maybe do Galaxy 2 or something like that. I would say, if anything, though, they will partner that with the release of Breath of the Wild 2.
Mm-hmm.
And I say that because they just showed that new Musou game that is technically a prequel to Breath of the Wild. Takes place 100 years before Breath of the Wild. And so, with that coming out this holiday, it means that they could basically be like, get the new 4K Switch. It probably just call it new Nintendo Switch.
They probably will. No, they probably will. I'm almost certain that's what it'll be, because it was new. Was it new 3DS? They did do that with 3DS.
Yes.
Yes. It's gonna be a new Switch.
Yes. And they'll probably say, complete the trilogy and get this Breath of the Wild 2. Drop that joint in March and smash PS5 and Xbox for the rest of the summer.
I gotta start putting my money to the side for when that one comes out.
I know, stacking up.
Yeah. I mean, I don't care.
Rather be safe than sorry.
But I know a lot of people do. Huh?
No, so just be safe than sorry. Just if they announce it, just have the money there. It's like, okay, I'm good. Just let me know when I can go pre-order.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, for me, I'm not. Nintendo's just not doing it for me anymore. Like, they don't generally do anything anymore that excites me. Like, I got a lot of love for Nintendo and what they are, but like, when they announce a Mario game, whatever it is that Mario's doing. Mario is the Barbie of video games. That dude got every job. Mario played basketball, he played tennis, he in the Olympics. You know what I'm saying?
The day job is a plumber. So my man got all his bases covered.
Smash Brothers be fighting dudes.
Yeah, like, it's just, I'm surprised Nintendo hasn't actually just put out a toy line of Mario's like they Barbie dolls with just
All the
You know
different
what I'm saying?
outfits
This
from.
Cape Mario,
Different jobs.
this Tanuki Mario, this, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I
people
don't
eat
think
them up.
I don't think they keep up
Um,
themselves if they tried to do that.
hey Marcus, what are you talking about, bruh? Listen,
Y'all can get that working gold.
you not talking about rocking with these veterans and no gold eye, bruh. You not doing that,
Hey.
bruh.
So
You know what I'm
terrible.
saying? Facility with proximity mines, you already dead, bruh.
Ah!
Play with me. Hey dog, if they do a new Perfect
Perfect
Dark when they
Dark.
do a facility, I'm all day. I'm all day. I'm in there.
Oh,
Um,
just just redo part one and give me all that great bot stuff they put in there. Just that's all.
I mean, yeah, it's clean.
So dope.
So one more thing before we wrap it up. I
Got
want to
it?
talk a little bit about Nvidia's presentation from last week. We don't usually talk a lot about PCs and PC gaming here. But I think that the significance of next gen kind of warrants having a discussion about what's happening in the PC space as well. Partially because technically there isn't anything in a PC that can do what a PS5 or an Xbox Series X can do. It doesn't exist. At least it didn't.
Yeah.
It didn't. Whew. Hey Ellis, you can have that Call of Duty, man. I just said
Which
we
COD?
don't.
Which COD
We
we
don't.
talking, Ellis? You talking like Modern Warfare, newest one? What we talking?
Joke saying like he went to smoke.
Hey, listen. First of all, Ellis, you ain't that great in Halo. You alright. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh,
You cool.
burn!
You know what I'm saying? You cool. You keep doing this in the comments, DJ L Ice. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say you don't got a couple games under your belt, cause you do. But if y'all really want war,
Might have to sell this during extra life.
get that tennis out there.
Tell dog.
Tell him, Tim.
Don't want that. That
Marcus
want
wants the
that
smoke.
work.
Marcus wants the smoke.
Marcus don't want no smoke. You choke on the smoke, sir. How you not? We don't bring no smoke. We only bring fire. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. Hey, listen.
So my man about to drive along.
What do you mean, you people, Ellis? Listen. So these new Nvidia GeForce graphics cards, bro, that are like doing 8K at like 60 FPS.
Yeah.
First of all, that's kind of sick, but nobody really needs to do that. Second of all, their ability to do that full 4K at 120 is a thing that we'll probably see consoles make happen
Right.
sooner than later. I want to kind of use this as a talking point for one of the things that kind of came up when we were talking about the Series X and S. So one of the things that was going around when they talked about these new graphics cards was the smaller hard drive space for the SSDs.
Okay.
And there's a lot of back and forth, and a lot of it does remain to be seen. But as of right now, what's being said is that the additional hard drive space or additional RAM space becomes less important with the solid state drive, because they're able to draw the information from the drive at such a fast rate that you don't need as much hard drive space. So currently the way that games work, and what we've seen over this past generation in like probably the largest games we saw at the tail end of last gen with 360 and PS3, we saw games start to hit like 35, 45 gigs. Like I think Grand Theft Auto 5 was somewhere in that range, 35, 45 gigs. As we got into the new generation, we saw those numbers started to come up. Then as we got into the 4K side of this generation, we saw those numbers come up again. And we're seeing games now that are 100, 125 gigs by the time you do DLC and whatever else. Sometimes out of the
200
gate,
gigs.
you're 100 or more gigs, 120.
Warzone alone, yeah.
Right. So here's the thing. The way that game assets are made, in order for them to put the assets that need to be pulled from the hard drive at a fast enough rate for you to be able to see it as you run from one spot to the other, they basically have to take the same assets and save those same assets in multiple folders across the disk. So just as an example, if let's use Spider-Man PS4. If you're swinging through the city, the assets that they use for the street, the sidewalk, the lamppost, the poles, all that kind of stuff as you're swinging down, they take those same graphical assets, the bushes, the trees, the bricks on the buildings, and they'll have them in a folder that is for this area of Manhattan, and those exact same assets in a folder that are in this area for this part of the city, and in this area for this part of the city. So they are doubling and tripling the same graphical assets. There are a couple of things that are happening. One is Unreal Engine 5, which is allowing that system to automatically, for them to not have to actually make. So right now, you're swinging down a road. Well, you have to have an asset for what that light pole looks like up front when you're right next to it, what it looks like down the street, what it looks like further away as you increase those draw distances. You actually have to have, for what is technically supposed to be the same structure, multiple files, images of that unit to try to show draw distance and so forth. Unreal Engine 5 is getting rid of that. It allows you to create an asset once, and the engine itself can populate it thousands of times at smaller sizes and larger sizes at the correct fidelity. Meaning you don't have to worry about being able to draw it from the hard drive at the same rate. So that in and of itself is cutting down on the number of assets you have to put them on disk or what have you. When you couple that with the SSD, the speed at which the GPU and CPU are able to pull the assets from the SSD versus their ability to pull the assets from a mechanical hard drive means that it's so fast they don't actually have to double and triple up on those assets at all. They can make them once, and it can just pull from that folder, right? So we're actually likely, even though we're seeing higher fidelity and faster frame rates, we're actually likely to see the file sizes of games come down. So as we concern ourselves with, well, the Series S only has 512 gigs of SSD space, and the PS5s, both PS5s and the Series X only have a terabyte, which truthfully doesn't sound like much at all. You're talking about maybe 10 games based on the size of what games have become now. We're actually likely to see the same games at higher fidelity perform better with smaller file sizes.
Right.
Dig it.
Part of why that quick resume is a thing that you're able to do, that having 5 or 6 games loaded up and just jump back into one and jump back into another one and whatever. Those kinds of things. So while I was initially a little concerned, like, yeah, man, that Series S only 512 gigs. Bruh, that's tiny. Like, my phone has more space than that joint. It actually may not matter. Especially when you add in the idea of cloud streaming and networking. Too.
Yeah.
So we're seeing some game changers. I think it's going to be super.
I like to see how much sizes, like people do those comparisons once the consoles get out, like size of how much this one game takes on a regular Xbox than it does on the Series X. I like to see those comparisons.
Yeah. Ellis, dog. 600 gigs of space for your Call of Duty updates.
Hard drive solely for Call of Duty. It's like, that's it. You play no other game. You playing Call of Duty, that's it.
Yeah, you not playing Call of Duty on no series joint if you need it. You know what I'm saying? Again, it still has that terabyte slot. that's one of the things again that I'm real interested in seeing what they do. I want to see what the price on the new controllers are. I want to see how much that
That little
terabyte
memory thing.
Yeah.
whatever
It's scaring me
like
right now. With
SSD that's where the need for $600 is gonna come from, as opposed to $5. Because I know I'm gonna need that joint the first day.
mm-hmm.
The first day.
Just
Because
pre-order
everything
with
I've
the
else,
already-
I mean, most of my games are already on external hard drives anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just gonna plug and play those. I'm not gonna worry about that.
Yeah.
But with the new Series
Still-
X titles, the ones that you're gonna have to need to put
Yeah.
on there to do it, because like Assassin's Creed right out the gate, depending on whatever
Yep.
other ones we end up getting as being those release titles.
Not that
It's
many. There's like the medium.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah. Like we said, Watch Dogs
we
probably.
still don't know. I'm hoping that at TGS we actually not only do we get a date, but we actually find out what launch titles will exist for PlayStation 5. Because right now we don't know. And when I say launch, I ain't talking launch window. I'm
no
about
talking day
one.
one. Buy this console, I can buy this
I would
game.
get that from I would get that from Scarlet Nexus for the Xbox.
Oh
I dig
yeah.
that.
Mm-hmm.
I dig that. That doesn't seem like that big of a game.
It doesn't, but
To
But
you.
still, I want to play it. Like,
No. I know. Yeah. Yeah, like I have high hopes that Miles Morales will be a day one launch title for PS5. I don't think, and I honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if part of the reason why we don't have a date yet is because they don't know what games they're gonna have,
That's the price.
and they gotta make sure that they're doing like what Xbox is doing. Like, oh yeah, by the way, Assassin's Creed, because that's the game. Like that's the joint that we're gonna have. It's gonna be a third party joint. Which again, that's typically how most of the time when a console releases, that's what you get is third party games and maybe third party exclusives. Sometimes you have, I mean, Halo has only ever launched with the first Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
That's it.
yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
And PlayStation's lineups have been terrible every time. They've been pretty terrible. Nintendo usually has one solid joint lined up. Mario joint. I think this was the first joint that had Zelda. They usually have something pretty solid lined up. Like I said, I think they're lining up Breath of the Wild 2 for this next little leap. Yeah, I mean, and you know, we'll see. We'll see what they do with power. Battery life is always an issue, man. If this next Switch joint, if it's as powerful as they say it is, that's gonna be the crux. It's gonna be what's the
battery.
like. But they'll put another joint out with a better battery in like 9 months. Mark it. They gonna put out another joint, and they probably just sneak the joint out like they did the last one. They didn't announce it for real. They just started sending that joint out with a slightly different box.
It's in a red
You know
box,
what I mean?
guys.
No-
Look out for
no
the red
price
box.
difference, no nothing. Just like, yeah, that's here y'all go. So yeah, I mean, that remains to be seen, and I think it's gonna be interesting to see whether or not whatever the new Nintendo console, if it even is a Switch, or do they go, you know, Switch Lite? Because right now they've already fragmented their player base because you have games that you can't play on the Switch Lite because you don't have motion controls.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So, you know, it remains to be seen how they handle that and if they go down that route at all. Look, y'all, let's wrap this up because I'm off tomorrow and I want to play Avengers. So,
Let's do it.
hey, look, man, any of y'all out there, man, look, if any of y'all out there are playing Avengers and you're playing on the box, let us know because we probably could use a solid 4. Right now, it's been the three of us rocking, and that game choppy, man. Let me make sure my
But
update
damn it, is it fun?
Yeah, it is an update. It was a 4.2 gig update.
I'm about to bust that right now.
Yeah, I did that while we was recording.
Yeah, that game choppy, man. I feel a little bit like they ought to be ashamed of themselves, even for as well as it's doing.
Oh
And this
man,
update ain't gonna fix my issue.
Sorry, Sam.
Nah, you
saw
have a
that
broken
update.
game, bro.
I
Your
saw that
game
update,
is
and I
broken,
thought,
broken.
and I thought
Yeah.
they were gonna fix you, but they was like, nope, we fixed the issue,
Oh, that's just update.
but for those that already experienced the issue, we haven't fixed it for y'all yet. I was kind of like, oh, that hurt.
So I gotta wait for the next update before I hopefully am able to finish the game. Great.
Yeah, it don't mean that I don't have to worry about it. Oh, yeah, nah, that's not a secret. That's his cat creepy. Ty, should you get it? What you doing, Ty? What you doing? You know how we get down, man. Hey Ty, I thought you was running Extra Life with us. How you gonna run Extra Life with us without
Ooh.
Avengers?
Ooh,
Ooh, you gonna need that. That's only three of us.
That's some
By the
work.
time, but then ain't no telling what we gonna have by the time November roll around with some updates for Avengers.
Yeah.
Kinda,
Hopefully, at least we got the first characters we know of by then.
we keep it a buck. This joint say my joint ain't updating the last 7 days. So if that
Ooh.
joint ain't updated,
Ooh,
I'm gonna be
disgusting.
hot right now.
I know.
My
Mine's
thing
just
goes
set the
auto
auto.
update.
Mine's just set the auto update.
Ooh.
So if I turn this box on, that don't hit me with that update. I'm gonna be mad.
My thing said the auto update. But that joint ain't do nothing when I just clicked the button. Oh, needs an update. You some of them.
Yeah, my John probably gonna do the same thing too.
I probably
Yeah,
gotta do my
well.
other box too.
Ain't gonna take that long. All my other stuff updated. I don't know why that joint didn't. My man said I download it now. Hey, listen, man, you gonna have to get through the main story. We could jump in and help you a little bit with some of the story stuff,
Yeah.
but you go ahead and get that thing downloaded. It's gonna take a little time, man. Let us know when you got
Yeah,
it. You
get
know,
through that campaign as fast as you
right there.
possibly can before that
Yeah.
game breaking glitch gets in there.
Yeah. Listen, when you playing the
It's armor.
campaign, don't worry about trying to. Don't get into like, let me change this and change that or whatever. They got a button. You just hold the left trigger. Every time you get new stuff, if it's better than what you got on, it's
It'll
gonna
just
automatically
automatically
put it
put you
on.
on for you
Just hit the button. Don't get in there and start digging into percentages and
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
because you're
This
gonna
protect me
lose
from
that
the
piece of
cold, and this
armor
protect me
probably
from
by
the
the
heat.
next go around. So yeah,
Yeah, it don't
By the
even
next
matter.
fight.
Play through the main show. For real, it don't even matter until you hit like level cap. I'm just telling you now, and level cap is like 250 or something stupid like that. So for real, just
Just put out the
beeline
story.
through the story.
Yeah, just be like
You know what I'm saying? Highlight it if you need. If you want somebody to jump in with you with a couple of joints. You see, that's what I'm talking about. 4 gig update. That joint say it's gonna be done in 5 minutes.
I love it. My Jones
You
will
know
be
what I'm
saying.
So, having said that, I'm looking seriously forward to seeing how things change or what happens between now and the next time we do cutscenes.
Yeah.
We definitely have some things that are popping. These joints right here, these scorpion lollipops getting ready to go down. That's happening tomorrow.
My man Sam just put
Um,
his head down, just like
Yeah. So yeah, we got some content that we're still working on. We doing a new episode of Snacking and Hanging. That's coming. Getting ready to start releasing those to you guys soon. So yeah, there's some things that are happening for sure. Make sure you follow us across all social media. And you know, if you can, man, if you got the spare change, you know, we'll take it like you know, over there on Patreon. We would love to have your support there. We have some stuff that only happens on Patreon. We had a really, really good discussion about why J. Robert Deans was wrong about Apocalypse War being a bad movie.
Yep.
That was really good.
oh, let's see. So
Nah,
Gage is getting, no.
sir. I'm getting an X.
Everybody's getting X's here. There's
Yes.
some of us may also
Possibly
get an S,
also-
but all of
possibly
us are
also
getting an
an
X.
Yeah.
Everybody getting X's.
But everybody's getting an X. We on that X.
Yeah.
And PlayStation 5 just remains to be seen. I'm not ready to pull the trigger.
Honestly,
price-wise,
I know I want a PS5 as well,
I
but
wouldn't
priorities, that Xbox coming first.
yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt. And I'm gonna tell you what, I do think that the constraint for the PlayStation 5 is gonna be more realistic than what we're seeing for the X and the S. So I think it's gonna be actually harder to get a PS5. So it's harder to get, and it's more like I'm not gonna jump through hoops. I just get it when I can.
Yeah, Marcus got that. X gonna give it to you.
Marcus.
You know what? Hey, quick little sidebar, right quick. Hey, Marcus, hit me up later. Just yes or no in the chat, real quick. Are you gonna do the Digimon TCG? I just want to know side game thing because I'm thinking about it.
Okay, well, while he responds to you, shout out to
Go ahead, shout
Cunningham,
Mm-hmm.
shout out to Ellis Mbe, shout out to Susan Dort, shout out to Tyrone Carson, and shout out to Victoria Ford for being our top tier patrons. We truly, truly appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Yep. Hey, look, you can get in and be a patron for $1. I'm just saying, for $1.
Yeah.
holla for $1. You get some early access to some stuff.
$1.
Snack Bites dropping things about those. You know what I'm saying? Oh, breast cancer shirts. So the last shirts we did, I've got the majority of those shirts. Those are going out. So Alfonso, if you're still in there, yours is going in the mail tomorrow. So you should get that soon. There are breast cancer shirts. Those will probably go live in a week or two. We have basically got the design finalized. I will probably show what that will be in the next 5 to 7 days. And you get the information you need, Jokes?
Sure did.
Marcus?
Yep, he's gonna be on board for it.
Yeah, so breast cancer shirts, all of those proceeds go to a charity.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, I'm looking into the right charity. We don't always do it for the same charity. We just always make sure that all the funds get donated to a breast cancer charity. So right now, we're looking into the right charity. I've seen some good, new charities that I wasn't familiar with that I think might be the right way to go. So we're looking at some options for that. But when you see those breast cancer awareness shirts go live, it's Loading Snacks versus breast cancer. When those shirts go live and are available, just keep in mind that all the proceeds for those, other than what it takes to actually make the shirts, will go to a good cause. And then right behind that, just as we just talked about with Ty, Extra Life, it's coming. 24 hours of straight up gaming for the kids, for the chillins. So y'all get ready for that.
Wait.
With that, we're gonna wrap this one up. We're out. Toodles and loos. What it do, snackers and snackettes? Did you like what you just saw? Would you like to help us grow? Here's what you can do. Shoot over to patreon.com/loading snacks. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe on your favorite platform of choice. Appreciate you.